What do you do if your St. Augustine grass freezes? Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining me for this video. If you haven't yet, you should definitely check out my video I posted earlier, my last video. You can actually see how much snow we actually got here in San Antonio, Texas. We had about 6 inches on the ground. It was just completely covered. By far the most we've had since I've been here. It was a record for like 50 years in San Antonio. Click on that video. You can see it's a very quick video. You can just see how much snow we had on the ground. So, what is the biggest concern with freezes in St. Augustine grass? Well, St. Augustine grass is a southern grass, the southern lawn grass. And what that means is not meant to be up north where it snows. It's meant to be places like Texas and Florida where it usually doesn't get very cold. Now, the way this works is if your temperature reaches to the range of 23 degrees Fahrenheit, down to that low, you could have up to 50% grass death. You could lose up to 50% of your grass. Now, if you go below 23 degrees, you could go all the way down until you could potentially lose, in the worst case situation, your entire lawn. Now, for us, we had 6 inches of snow packed for like 4 days. It got down to 8 degrees. So I truly was worried that I was going to lose my entire lawn. We have a lot of dead growth on the top. A lot of our grass on the top is really brown and dying or actually already dead. We have a lot that is you basically frost burnt. You can see this whole line here, which is coming down from the roof line from the gutters, which is actually completely frost burnt. It actually even has a little bit of a white hue to it. But if you get down on the bottom, it is actually really nice and green. And so this top layer that actually died kind of protected it just a little bit. So you see here, this really does look kind of white. And this is just the frost burn on the grass. And you look around here, we still have areas where it's nice and green. We have areas where it's really brown, but the majority of the grass here will survive. There's areas in the front yard that are worse. I think the side did a little bit better. We've got obviously some really nice green grass there. We definitely have a decent amount of frost damage on the side here. So the question is, what do we do about our grass? How do we bring it back to life? Well, the first most important thing is don't do anything. I know that sounds weird. You come outside, your grass looks half dead, it's brown, but trust me, don't do anything. First, we need to make sure there's no additional freezes that are going to come, no additional cold weather. The last thing you want to do is to apply a nice fertilizer to get it to start growing back again, and then it go through another shock of a freeze. So what we want to do now is we want to just leave it alone and just let it gradually come back out. Now we have a lot of brown grass, and I'll come show you in a second. And we have a lot of brown grass. You might even have a bunch of leaves that fell. We just want to leave everything alone. If you see weeds, you don't want to apply any type of weed control. You don't want to do anything to your lawn at all. Don't want to excessively water it. It's still kind of in the winter months. It's not really spring yet, so you don't want to be watering it as heavily. You can touch it to make sure it's nice, but you don't want to oversaturate it. You don't want to do anything that's going to shock your grass, anything that's going to upset it. It's already hurt really badly at this time. We don't want to do anything else that's going to harm the grass. Now, hopefully you've mowed your grass before the freeze came because believe it or not, even mowing your grass at this point in time, you don't want to put any more added stress on your grass than you have to. You don't want to mow it, and if you do need to mow it, make sure you mow it higher. Don't mow it too low. You know, right now, the part of our grass that's alive is actually underneath a lot of the brown grass. Now, a lot of these runners and a lot of the base of the grass is going to be still alive, and it's going to slowly start to come back out. But we don't want to put any additional stress by mowing it, by adding anything onto it. We really want to give it a good few weeks, just leaving it as it is, to let it try to come out of that stressful situation. So when you look at your grass from a distance, as you might have seen from the last angle, a lot of it looks really brown. And there is a lot that is going to be completely brown. We even have some grass blades you can see here that just completely froze here. And you've got the top inch or two that's frozen. And then you have where it was insulated by the rest of the grass that died on top. You have on the bottom nice green flat leaves still. And if we actually move some of this away, you can see here we got nice broad green leaves. See, all up under here, we still have nice green grass. Now this right here is what tells us that our grass is not dead. On top, it's super brown. It's not happy, but underneath it was insulated by the snow. Underneath it was insulated by the top 50% of the grass that we mentioned in the beginning of the video that died. But that dead grass then insulated the bottom grass, which made a huge difference and really helps us at this point. But now we don't want to take this part off. We really want to wait. This grass will start coming out. It'll start coming out and growing and start spreading as the temperature keeps on warming up and warming up. We do not want to add any more stress to it at this time. Okay, so if you haven't got it yet, the theme of this video is do nothing. At this point, it is very important. If you see weeds, don't go use weed killer. Don't do any type of fertilization, fungicide. Don't mow the lawn if you don't have to. Just leave it, let it come out of this hibernation, this dormancy. Let all the nice, beautiful green grass on the bottom come out. Don't overly water it. Just give it a good few weeks. Give it until it is nice and warm out and you start seeing some of this grass start to come out. And then at that point in time, we'll add our mill organic fertilizer, which you can see the link below to what I use for the lawn. And my daughter just ate pavement over there, but I think she's okay. Okay. If you have any questions on this, please comment below. Please like the video if you haven't already. I'll answer any questions that you have. Anything that you have, if you have worse damage than this, hopefully you don't. We do have about the top 50% dead on here. This is the same for my backyard and the same for the side yard. There are areas that were protected more that stayed pretty green. This is probably about what most of y'all will experience as well. Like I said, we should be fine. I don't think really many people got lower than about 8 degrees, which is what we got. So if my grass is still somewhat alive, yours will be too. It just won't look as green and lush for a while, but don't worry, it will come back. Everything will be fine. Don't go cutting it out. Okay, thank you again for joining me. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time.